Hey, what's up, friends? Welcome back to a new episode of Kevysie Podcast. I am your host, Kevin Davis. I am an entrepreneur, go-giver, writer, comic creator, and yes, I have multiple businesses, and people continue to ask me, do I ever sleep? And the answer is yes, I do. But today's guest is my good friend, Mr. Brian Rodman. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I thought I was going to be fighting a sickness today, but last night I got some good sleep, so I hopefully
Heck yeah.
dodged the bullet.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Love that, brother, man. God is so good, man. I'm so glad you got your rest, man. But it's your first time on this show. You was on my mental health podcast, but for those, now you come to the entertainment podcast.
Yeah.
But I know you, but tell us a little bit about yourself that maybe like other people don't know you yet, just yet.
Sure, yeah. So I am Brian Rodman. I'm an author and illustrator. I'm an author and award-winning illustrator.
There you go.
I'm a creator of comic books, and I've recently put out, last year, published the first novel of the Cosmic Wheel series, Memoirs of an Angel, The Grey Pilgrim, This Beast. The next book in the series is on Kickstarter right now, and hopefully we can get that link in the show notes and all that jazz, and I'm sure Kevin will point you in the right direction for that. Otherwise, you can go to brianrodman.com. Everything's there, all my social media, the link to the Kickstarter, it's all there. So that's kind of a one-stop shop.
And a link in the description, guys.
So there you go. That's who I am.
I've been following for a bit. I've been seeing your artwork, and I love the posts like you make of like, how can I pray for you? I was like, I need to talk to this guy. I need to talk to this guy.
Be like, are you for real? What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really refreshing, like seeing some really good hearted people in the industry, like in general.
Yeah.
For us, how's it always been your passion to like be an artist, like be a writer, like especially like growing up, like did you like grow up on comics or novels? What really inspired you?
Yeah, so for me, it was a combination of comics, movies, and cartoons. I hated novels. I hated chapter books. I did not enjoy reading that much unless it was a comic. And even then, when I was a little kid, it was mostly just all about the cartoons. So like Batman the Animated Series was and the original Batman 66 TV show were like,
I saw the animated series.
Well, you haven't seen the 60s. It is goofy as hell, man. It is, and it's great. Like, it knows what it is, and it is dumb and fun and super campy, really tongue-in-cheek stuff. And it was great for what it was, right? Like, it's not the Batman that we know now. It's the goofy Batman from the 60s. It's very much a time capsule of the 60s. And in that sense, it is so much fun. I have the whole series on Blu-ray in like a big collector's box edition. It is a blast. It is so much fun because it's all your characters that you love from Batman, but it's a comedy. And not like Harley Quinn or something. It's not like raunchy or anything like that. It is, it has a lot of innuendo, because that was the tone of the show, but it's very unique and it's very fun. And I think what they tried to do, what Joel Schumacher tried to do with Batman and Robin, the George Clooney Batman movie, I think they tried to encapsulate that tone into that movie, and it just didn't really land because that wasn't what that series was until that movie.
George Clooney Batman was the worst Batman ever.
Yeah, I like to view it as like a sidebar to the old TV show. And if you watch it in that respect, it's a lot of fun. I have a unique love for Batman and Robin because, first of all, Arnold Schwarzenegger just looks like he's having a blast the whole time.
He played the Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, he played Mr. Freeze, and it was just like this, just one-liner after one-liner, and just silliness the whole time, man. And I don't know, if you watch it, if you go into it expecting a dumb comedy, you're going to enjoy it, I think. Now, if you go into it expecting, the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton success, you're going to hate it. And that's what a lot of people did. I saw in theaters when it came out, and I was a kid, and I enjoyed it as a kid. But as I got older, I watched it again when I was like a teenager, and I was like, this is stupid. Because by that time, Frank Miller had gotten a hold of me. And I was like, Batman's the gritty, angry old man that's killing people. And And so, yeah, I was beyond the humor of that could be in that universe. But if you look at them as different things, they're fun. But anyway, I'm rambling on. So comics. The Death of Superman was the first big comic that I had, and I loved it. I read it over and over again. And then the Archie comic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, where those two were like the big introductions for me in the comic book series. And then Batman the Animated Series took it to a whole new level. That seduced me into the love of comic books, and I love it. I've been a huge comic book reader ever since. And in my college years is when I really started getting into novels, because reading became something I wasn't tasked to do, which I know a lot of people are like, college, that's like when you read the most. It is. I was really interested in a lot of the things I was in college for. So I started to love reading, and because it was all things that actually mattered to me, as opposed to like these books I'd never heard of, nor did I care about in grade school. Yeah, I knew that I wanted to make comics. That was my big thing. When I was a kid growing up, and unfortunately, my family and I, we weren't aware of things like the Kubert School, for comic book artists and things like that, and writing. So like, had I known about that at the time, I would have prepped for it and done that. But I think I'm doing pretty well. All things considered, I know and have rubbed shoulders with people who graduated from that school, and we're at about the same place with our careers. So I feel like I've done pretty good. I think a lot of the industry is mostly just, no matter where you come from or what accolades you may have as far as schooling or anything like that, it's really what you can produce, what your resume looks like, what your experience is, and how much you're getting stuff out there. And that's really what matters. And you don't really need, a degree for that. You don't need formal education for that. You need to know how to tell a story, and you need to learn how to make a comic book. But I mean, my goodness, there's free resources for that now. Everything you learn in school, you can learn for free on YouTube, especially when it comes to comic books.
True.
I mean, there's so many people that do great YouTube shows and tutorials on what storytelling is and how to do it. So, yeah. But yeah, I've always known I wanted to do creative stuff. I never thought I would be a novelist, ever. That was never on my radar. The previous podcast that I was on the mental health podcast, we talked about how my health tanked and all that. When that happened, I switched from doing comic books to writing illustrated novels, and I'm very happy with doing that. I'm going to end up doing comic books again. I already have a couple ideas. I have a series that I need to finish as well, the Nebulizer. That's going to be my next project after the one that's on Kickstarter now. So
we will bring up in a second, guys. The link to the Kickstarter is in the description of this video. That's freaking amazing. I grew up on Turtles, but I never knew they were comics. Like,
oh really?
Yeah. I watched like the old school movies, like the shows and everything, like the animations and everything.
Yeah.
Even the Michael Bay version.
It's fun.
I still enjoyed the Michael Bay version because I love because he got he at least got the personality of the Turtles, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be horrible at everything you do to get that.
But I still watch those today because I love the actors in it, and I think it's still pretty cool.
I did like Krang. Seeing Krang.
Krang was cool, but I feel like they underutilized them, and it felt like it was like very rushed.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was very rushed. It was all just flashy action stuff. I think he tried to do too much all at once, and see, a lot of people fall into that trap. I also did not, and I love Stephen Amell as Arrow. I thought he did great in that show. I thought he was a horrible Casey Jones.
Yeah,
could not stand him as Casey Jones.
Pinch.
And I think he had a bad script too.
Yeah.
It was not fun. Shredder was cool. The Shredder Splinter scene in the first movie, that fight scene, is amazing.
God,
that's just fantastic stuff. I mean, the action's really good. Michael Bay is really good with action.
Yeah, he's the action parts. I
don't know too many people who can top Michael Bay when it comes to action sequences. He is really good at what he does in that sense. But as far as like, acting, like getting an emotional scene out of an actor, he's not the greatest as a director. So
I'm actually kind of shocked he hasn't directed a Fast and Furious movie, if I'm being honest with you.
Him too. That you said it, I would think. I mean, you would think he would be first in line for that. I did hear he's about to return to the Transformers franchise, though.
Yeah, he is.
Which
I'm like, dude, you done said since part 3 you was done, and then you made part 4 and you say you was done. Then you made part 5 and you say you was done.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's like Hayao Miyazaki. He's like, I'm retired. Never mind.
right, bro, just stop saying you're not gonna do it because clearly you enjoy doing it.
Probably they're a lot of work. They're really stressful, and I'm sure he means it.
Yeah.
Every time he's done, he's like, I'm not doing this for myself again. And then you distance yourself for a little bit, and you're like, maybe I'll do another one.
It's like I didn't like the last night. I'm like, that was definitely.
I didn't even see it. I've only seen the first 3, which
You
I
should see-
loved. I love the first 3. They're great.
Fourth one's actually good. Age of Extinction, that was actually really good.
Is that the one with Anthony Hopkins in it?
No, last night
Okay.
was Anthony Hopkins.
Okay.
Yeah, but Age of Extinction was actually really good.
Okay. I'll give
Like
it.
action-wise, story made sense.
Yeah.
Check out 4. You don't have to check out 5, but at least check out 4.
Well, I honestly, I've been thinking about rewatching the first 3 anyway, so I'll probably do that.
Like, especially when they brought in the dinosaur transformers.
Yeah, that was
Check out
cool.
4. Check out 4, dude. Oh my god. Please check out 4.
That's the Beast Wars stuff, right?
No, Beast Wars is Rise of Beast.
I didn't even know that movie existed. Okay.
Dang, dang, dude. But yeah, I mean, you have to see Bumblebee because Bumblebee has a spinoff.
I have heard Bumblebee was really good.
Okay, so I recommend Age of Extinction because that was still pretty good. Then Bumblebee it's a different director, so it's a different vibe, but it was so freaking good. And Transformers: Rise of the Beast. That's the Beast Wars one.
So what I'm hearing is really there's only one bad one.
To me, yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
I
to
can
me,
deal
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Like to me, yeah. I'm like, it was just
I love the 80s horror movies. I can handle one bad movie.
Yeah. But Bumblebee, Rise of the Beast, Age of Extinction were actually awesome too. I love those. I would say skip the last night because you're not missing much with that one. But definitely watch Bumblebee, Age of Extinction, and Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
So yeah, but yeah, Michael Bay's coming back for another one. I'm just like, hopefully that it's not like the last night. Rise of the Beast. I want you to experience that. So I'm not.
I mean, it's been a while. It's okay if you spoil it, but
right. But well, you know, it's been like 3 years now. I don't know, or 2. I don't know. At the end of Rise of the Beast, they teased the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover. So I was like, I was hoping they actually make that movie, but I heard Michael Bay come back. I'm like, oh.
Unless he's doing that, and that would be crazy.
Well, that would be weird. I'm like, well, maybe not. I don't know. But let's get to your Kickstarter that you have currently running right now.
Yeah.
There we go. So how do you pronounce your character name?
Eula
McDowell?
So Eula McDowell.
McDowell.
Yeah.
Tell us about this amazing story that you have presented for us, and you're almost funded, by the way. 20 days left.
Yeah, we got 20 days left, and we're ticking up there pretty consistently. Right now we're getting about 2 to 3 backers a day, which is fine. That's not a bad place to be.
Not at all.
Of course, as the campaign runner, I'm like, come on, fun now. So yeah, The Mysterious Adventures of Eula McDowell is the second book in the Cosmic Wheel series. It actually acts as a prequel and a sequel to Memoirs of an Angel. Mostly a prequel. I don't want to give away too much. At the very beginning of Memoirs of an Angel, The Great Pilgrim, the narrator of the story, his name is Artemis, and he is an angelic character who is from the distant future, telling these stories through his archive of different stories that he has available to him. And he mentions in the prologue of Memoirs of an Angel the final war, basically when at the end of the 90s, early 2000s, the world blew itself up, basically. All of civilization collapsed, the nuclear war stuff happened, and it hints to some larger, more mysteriously supernatural occurrences. And then we move forward with Memoirs of an Angel, which is a story that takes place about 2,000 years from now. And then, society's brought itself back together. It's more of a dystopian kind of future that goes back and forth between the physical and spiritual planes, telling one consistent story. It's a really interesting concept. Eula McDowell goes back in time, way before the final war, in 1991, and it's an alternate 1991. Some historical things are the same, some are very different, and you kind of pick that up as you're reading. But it takes place in Louisville, Kentucky, which is my home city, And Eula McDowell is a seasoned clairvoyant occult detective. And she is starting to notice, her and her team are starting to notice that these cases that she's starting to get are pointing to something that is leading to catastrophe. And she's starting to slowly realize that there is this grand conspiracy happening to bring that catastrophe, to bring it to life. And so we get it. That's the prequel side of it, and this story is basically her coming to realization through, it's the beginning of what will be the final war that's discussed in Memoirs of an Angel. This particular novel, it is a dedication to my grandma, who was not a demon hunter, but her name was Eula Young, and her maiden name was Dowell. So I just kind of played with that a little bit,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, my grandma and I had a really great relationship. She grew up on a farm in the country during the Depression, and then during World War II, she worked as a quality engineer for a steel or a wool mill, and she ended up basically starting a union to get the women workers equal pay and benefits. And then while she was doing that, my grandfather was a nose gunner in World War II. So, and he pops up in his own fictional version as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool. They're pretty cool people. My grandma and I had a great relationship. She was super sassy, really funny, really witty, and she and I would just roast each other for fun when we would meet up. She lived to 97. And she passed away in 2018. And she was a wonderful, wonderful person. So this is kind of my way of honoring her and fitting her into this world that I've been creating for years now. But it's also a love letter to pulp fiction. Not the Quentin Tarantino movie, but the actual genre of pulp fiction, specifically occult detective and cosmic horror, which is kind of the H.P. Lovecraft.
Love me some H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, man. So it's very Lovecraftian. In fact, there are two H.P. Lovecraft stories. One is called The Lurking Fear. The other one is called The Dunwich Horror. Both of them are honored and in a sense retold in this novel. Now it's the whole novel isn't just a retelling of Lovecraft, but I've taken a lot of the same characters and beats from those stories and applied them in and kind of recreated them and used them as my purpose, because the Lovecraftian part isn't new to this novel. It was heavily introduced in Memoirs of an Angel as well. So you get a lot of the cosmic monsters, and Azathoth is in there, and Cthulhu is in it, and all that stuff. That's all in Memoirs of an Angel. And we just continue that theme with this, except this novel, Eula McDowell, is more kind of boots on the ground, mostly physical realm kind of storytelling. Whereas Memoirs, it was high fantasy and science fiction. This is more
let's go.
Occult detective cosmic horror. So different genre, same series, same story, different flavor. You get a lot of the same lore is there, the same, theology that was introduced in Memoirs of an Angel. It just continues with Eula McDowell. And we just start really diving into a lot of rich character development with these characters. And the series will then kind of bounce back and forth between the different groups of characters that we're following in their respective books. And I won't say too much more about that because of spoilers, but they are deeply connected in some pretty awesome ways. The stories are. So it's not just the final war that connects them. It is much more than.
And I read the information. So this is 600 pages long.
It's longer than that. It's so Memoirs of an Angel is 640 pages long, but at the same time, it's got a ton of illustrations. Right. So like almost.
So it's a mixture of novel and graphic novel.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I wanted to do that. That was very intentional because, I started as a comic book creator. And I wanted to keep that flavor of storytelling, not only for myself, because I love comic books, but for my readers who were loving the comic series and now, have wonderfully transitioned with me into this new medium. And I wanted to honor them as well by keeping the same kind of heavily illustrated storytelling. But yeah, so it's over 600 pages, but it's got all of those illustrations in there as well. So it's not like you're not picking up a Stephen King book going, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 6 months or more to read this. It's a fast read, despite how long it is in its appearance. So is Eula McDowell. That's kind of the what is now called the new pulp genre. You don't get the richness of descriptions of things and places and people, but you are moving at a much faster pace than, say, like J.R.R. Tolkien, who would, sit there, and I love Tolkien, but he describes everything. So does Stephen King, right? Like, it's like we've got to know the whole life story of the person on the corner who isn't in this story at all. But that's what Stephen King does. And I love it. I dig it, but that's just not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is a much more linear, fast paced. I compare the mysterious adventures of Eula McDowell with a season of a TV show. So each chapter is kind of a standalone story that builds on the last, and it leads to this big finale that you have to read all these stories to get there. So it is a novel. It's not an anthology. That's kind of the format I'm going after with this novel. Yeah, that kind of just sums up our relationship. It's so funny in the dedication page to her. She's the first person I dedicate the book to, and she is, I say, this is for my grandma Eula, who would have hated this, because she always thought that my comics, she bought every single one of them and she supported it a ton, but she would always be like, somebody dropped you on your head because these are crazy. And
that'd be the best comments though. It was crazy.
Yeah. And I would also look at her and be like, well, you watched me when I was a little kid, so you must have been the one that dropped me. So this is your fault. And
was that you create the crazy?
Yeah, exactly. Now another fun part, that picture right there, that is actually this version of Louisville. Louisville is not that big at all. In fact, only the first few buildings there in the front are actually what Louisville looks like. Everything behind that, those huge skyscrapers,
like right here.
Yeah, that stuff, that's what Louisville is. The rest of it is all, it's added on, it's fictionalized. Because in the novel, I have made Louisville the third largest city in America. And it kind of has an Akira Neo Tokyo kind of feel. And so I just, I wanted to have fun with it. I love my city. I think it's great. I think it has a lot of character, good, bad, and ugly. And I wanted to do what most comic books and pulp fiction does. And it takes reality and amplifies it and makes it more so, and it exaggerates and it proves points and themes by doing so. That was the whole point of that.
Yeah, this is freaking fantastic. Let's get to the rewards.
Yeah, she's a potter and an art teacher, and she does Deep Creek Arts, Kentucky, and she is actually making 2 different mugs for us on the campaign. We did a mug for Memoirs of an Angel campaign, and all the mugs are exclusive to the campaign, so we won't have any after it's over. And one is, it's got the Eula logo, and the other one, oh yeah, handmade. Every single one is handmade and hand glazed and everything, and they're great. They're fantastic. The Cosmic Wheel mug that we had for the Memoirs of an Angel campaign, I drink out of it all the time. It's great. We really want to come up with some unique stuff, and coffee is, of course.
I mean, I don't drink coffee, but I make coffee.
Yeah, coffee is a huge part of the Eula story as well, and people who read it will understand. We have 3 posters that are on the campaign that are in a higher tier level. This is the first one. That is one of the main villains of the story, main human villains. And this is Wilbur Whately, who is from the Dunwich Horror by H.P. Lovecraft. But this version of Wilbur Whately is a lot different from the Dunwich Horror. Cool. So yeah, he's similar, but I've done a whole new thing. So he is very much his own character in this novel. And then the next one, this is one of my favorite characters. His name is Mr. Black. We don't know if he's a friend or a foe. We don't know anything about him yet. I'm not going to tell anybody until you read it. But he plays a crucial role in this novel, as well as in the Cosmic Wheel series in general. So think about this. This is what I will say. He is an assassin in a very Lovecraftian assassin. We'll just say it that way. He is a really cool character. Very, very cool. So yeah, and then the next poster, if you go scroll down a little bit more, is just a really fun, kind of family portrait type thing with Eula. There she is, sitting in her chair, and the team that builds in the book. It's a fun group of different characters that interact really well together and bring about some funny moments and some pretty awesome moments too. So I just kind of wanted to capture their camaraderie in that poster. All the different tiers that we have. We try to be as affordable as possible. We don't want to get greedy. We want people to actually be able to afford stuff because right now times are hard. So we've got
shipping has been increasing crazy lately too. So
yeah, the thing we did have to do this time around that we've never done before, which a lot of people do. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just, I mean, most people, we've had to separate shipping and tax. So that's why on every, graphic here you see the price plus ship plus tax and shipping. But that won't be charged until fulfillment. So it'll be months from now before you pay the tax and the shipping on it. So yeah, right now during the campaign, if you get the cosmic catch up, you'll only pay $50 right now, and then you'll pay whatever the shipping is, because right, and we did it because it's so hard to guess what shipping prices are going to be right now. Right now, prices are crazy right now, and they're just fluctuating all the time. So we don't want to overcharge and make people pay more than what they need to, and we also don't want to screw ourselves and charge too less, and then we're in the red, at the end of this because we really want to be able to make a profit so we can pour that profit into the next book. That's kind of the whole point of all this. So yeah, this is everything that you can possibly get out of our campaign. There's the coffee collector.
Dude, that is so freaking cool.
Yeah, we have a lot of unique rewards. I'm really proud of this campaign.
It's funny. I don't drink coffee, but I love mugs.
Yeah, well, I mean, also it is the thing. It's like a mug is just a cup with a handle. I mean, you can put whatever you want in it.
Right. I'm saying I make my own mugs too. I don't handcraft them myself, but I print or demand them. Right.
Yeah.
But I love I love when I see artists handcraft stuff. I'm like, I wish I was that cool, but right now I just do print on demand.
Yeah, and honestly, like with a campaign, it's actually much cheaper to do it with a handmade artist because you unless they have minimums that you have to do and all that kind of stuff. Tasha does not. Basically, it's made to order. So we really appreciate her.
Yeah, I'm always looking to collaborate with artists, especially you handmade stuff.
Well, hey, I'll point you in her direction then. She's great. She's great to work with.
I partner up with a friend of mine that does plushies. I don't have a manufacturer. I can just go straight to her, and then I have a friend that 3D prints. And if I want to do action figures, I can just talk to him. So I'm building connections, like getting awesome. that networking in. I would love to get like her contact if I want to make like an arc fire mug. Like that probably is something just for me.
Yeah, I know, man. I get it. I get it. These are the stretch goals, and they are not locked yet because we haven't met our goal of $6,000 yet. Once we do, we'll start heading towards the stretch goals. And this one, Mr. Friendly, is not so much friendly, and that is actually George Aniceto is a detective who is based on my cousin George, who was a detective. He's retired now.
I love it.
He's a great dude, and I obviously all the characters are fictionalized, but George is the inspiration behind this detective character, and he has a partner named Daniel O'Neill, and they're pretty cool together. I'll just say this: they make good spin-off material, and so there's a reason that those two are paired in a poster, but I won't tell you that. I won't tell you why. And then this next one, that the $7,000 post reward is. So here's the thing: this in the second story in the novel, I wrote it with my friend Clyde Hall. And he pulled out all the stops, man. He did such a good job with really tapping into the 1990s Halloween kind of spectacular culture that was that. Because now Halloween is like a whole 2-month long thing. It's as big as Christmas now in our culture, which is great. But back in the 90s, it was
It's more like a 12-month thing now because Halloween's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like, as far as like actual like gin pop, right? Like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like for me, Halloween is a lifestyle. But
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like in the 90s, that wasn't so much the case, but it was starting to happen, right? Like haunted houses were starting to pop up a lot more throughout the nation and things like that. And this is an homage to one of those. And in the story is called Trestle by Moonlight, and it is about a local legend here in Louisville called the Goat Man, and he haunts the Pope Lick train trestle and lures people up there, hypnotizes them with his gaze, and then they get hit by a train. And so this story is taking that legend and making it pretty interesting story that ties into the rest of the book. And to see, I tell you, one of the funniest things to see Eula McDowell, this little old lady, go face to face with the Goat Man monster is a pretty fun fight scene. But this poster is an homage to the Halloween feature, the Halloween haunted house thing that's being built around the trestle in the story, and it's kind of getting in the way of Eula's investigation, and it's a lot of fun. I made up a fun, old school poster, for that Halloween haunt.
Well, now I know who to come to when I officially start my haunted house.
Absolutely.
So then I'm gonna tease that because I do plan on doing my own haunted house attraction down the road.
There you go.
So now I know who I can contact to make flyers and print flyers for me and posters for me.
There you go, man. I'm available.
Heck
But
yeah.
$7,000 that'll be unlocked.
What do we got add-ons? Oh my gosh.
If you want, to add a book on, if you want to add a mug, you could totally do that. They're all individually there and available for folks to pick out. And also, we have Memoirs of an Angel. We have a catch-up tier as well. We have some.
I am such a hat guy.
There you go, man. We've got the beanies. We were gonna do. I'll tell you this little inside information. We were gonna do a Eula McDowell beanie. The cost is just not worth it for us, though. Not enough people buy the beanies right now for us to get an entire new shipment of beanies in. So unfortunately, right now, we don't have a Eula McDowell beanie, but that might change in the future.
Yeah, I was like, the price of beanies and like snapbacks it's pretty crazy.
It is, and it's the minimums is where they get you. You gotta buy it. Now this is the team. It's everybody who worked on the project with me. There's me. There's my friend Brian K. Morris, a multiple award-winning author. He helped me write the Dybbuk Box, which is the first story, and that's Clyde Hall, who co-wrote the Trestle by Moonlight with me, which is the second story. Jeremy Woodring is a photographer, amazing photographer. A lot of the location illustrations are directly based off of photographs that Jeremy took. He and I went around the city of Louisville a few times and took a ton of pictures, and so they are all based on his photography. That's my lovely wife Robin.
Hi,
yeah, she is the manager and publisher of B&R Publications. She does all the business side of things, most of it, and she's an accountant as well. So she takes care of all the finances, which I am so thankful for because you do not want me to take care of the finances of anything. And so yeah, she steps up and is a huge boss lady. That's my editor, Kim Bray. She is available for other people as well. If you read the book and you're like, hey, this is edited really well, you can contact Kim and she will work with you in your budget to edit your stories for you. She's fantastic. I've known Kim for a long time. And that's my formatter, Sarah. She rocks. She also has a lizard. And Sarah's great. The first project she ever formatted was Memoirs of an Angel.
really?
Yes, and she did looking at the book, you wouldn't know that no one had ever formatted a book before. She did such a good job, and she is bringing that talent back to Eula McDowell as well.
20 days left, guys. More than halfway there. Come on, let's get this sucker funded, guys.
Over 60% of the way there, and we need help.
Now this is freaking beautiful. Like, and also you can see the link of the Kickstarter in the banner of this video as well.
Yes,
just to make sure you guys do not miss it, because we get the sucker funded. It's freaking beautiful.
Thanks, I appreciate that. I really do. We're working hard on it.
before we hop off this video, please tell us where we can follow you so we can keep update with your project so we can continue to support you. And yeah.
Sure. BrianRodman.com is where you can go. Like I said earlier, it's kind of the one-stop shop for everything that is Brian Rodman. You can also sign up for the newsletter right on the homepage. When you go there, it's right there, right in front of you. So you can sign up for my newsletter. Most of the time, it's just a monthly newsletter, just once a month. Right now, I'm sending out a little bit more because we're doing a Kickstarter campaign. I'm probably going to send 4 or 5 emails throughout the month. That is very abnormal. It's usually just once a month, so it doesn't get spammy or anything. And in the newsletters, I tell you what I'm up to, the projects that I'm working on, give you a little sneak peek of things that's coming up, down the road. And then I also like to talk about a topic. Usually, I dip into some theological, philosophical thoughts. I went to seminary and was actually going to be a youth pastor for a while, and so really got into that before I decided that just wasn't, that vocationally wasn't for me. But I still love my faith, and I think through things all the time, and I like to welcome people into that. So if that sounds good to you, or even if you just want to keep up with me, you don't really care about the topical stuff, that's fine. Just follow the newsletter and scroll down and see what I'm up to. But yeah, everything, even the Kickstarter, all at BrianRodman.com, all my social media stuff. So follow me there.
Heck yeah, dude. And you can follow me at Instagram at I am Canada's official. All my business tags are in my Instagram bio. Jesus Christ. Facebook and TikTok, it's the same username as I am Kevin Davis CEO. YouTube at Kevysie. If you want to follow both of us, feel free. Thank you for if you do, thank you for supporting us and bringing our dreams to life, to tell stories, to have some fun. And you can also find Kevysie Fate Podcast wherever you find podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, other platforms. But you can find me there too. Brian Rodman, brother, congrats on this new book, man. It looks freaking amazing. Thank you for coming on, man. As a nerd, because we are nerds here, what is like your top 3 or 5 movies that you never get tired of watching? It can be a movie or a show.
There's a lot. I would say TV show is Batman the Animated Series. To this day, still my favorite. I will sit down and watch an episode or 10, just while I'm drawing or while I'm, sick in bed, because that happens a lot too. It's my feel good run to thing. Favorite movie / movies of all time, Lord of the Rings. Just all 3 of them. I can't choose one. They all are together.
That's the greatest 9 hours ever.
Absolutely. And the extended versions too.
Plus the extended version, so 12 hours.
Absolutely. So I love them. I love the novels. I love everything Tolkien. I'm one of those nerds that has the Tolkien encyclopedias in my library. So yeah, I'm that guy. I have a monster shelf of all the main Universal monster movies. There's a ton of art there. But I have them all on VHS and on my monster shelf. So those are also, especially like the big 3. So Dracula, Wolfman, and Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Bride of Frankenstein, it's actually better. But I love those. Dracula is my all-time favorite, though. The Bela Lugosi Dracula, that is my go-to all the time. I've got it queued up. I've got it. We have a digital library that we digitized all of our movies on our own server, because screw streaming. But so I've got it queued up on my phone all the time. I love those movies so much. I'm a huge old school monster movie nerd.
Oh yeah. Mine is Lord of the Rings as well. But Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, actually. So I'm
the Hobbit movies. They're great.
I'm more of a Wolf guy. So Wolfman is mine. Favorite. So Wolfman's Dracula than Frankenstein for me.
Ben Cooper Halloween costume of the Wolfman. I have Wolfman, Dracula, and Frankenstein over here of the Ben Cooper stuff. I will tell you, my studio is a treasure trove of nerddom. So yeah, I'm just thankful I have a wife that allows it.
Oh my God. And like my TV show is last time I go back to Scooby Doo.
I love the background paintings on Scooby Doo. You can't beat that. They're gorgeous. They're awesome every time.
And then heck, honestly, I'm going to be on Fast and Furious. I was like, I love Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Those are fun movies. I really like the first one a lot. The first one is a great, great movie. And then they get ridiculous. I love ridiculous action movies too. I know a lot of people give it crap because they're just like, oh, it's so unbelievable. I'm like, shut up.
But it's entertainment. It's a movie. It's not a documentary.
Yes, let Vin Diesel drive his car to the moon. Who cares? It's fun.
Oh my God. But again, brother, thank you for coming on, man. And guys, who's ever watching, back the Kickstarter right now is at the banner right now on this video and in the description of this video. And this has been the new episode of Kevysie Fate Podcast. We'll catch you guys next time on Kevysie Fate. Later.